If you're eating less, trying to be disciplined, maybe even exercising more, and your body still refuses to burn fat, I need you to listen carefully, because what you're about to hear explains years of frustration for millions of people. And I want you to stay until the end of this video, because the final explanation is the part most people never hear. It's the reason diets stop working, the reason fat loss feels impossible, and the reason your body seems to fight you no matter what you do. If you leave early, you'll miss the one thing that actually changes the outcome. Let's start with a hard truth. Your body does not care that you want to lose fat. Your body cares about survival. And when your body thinks survival is threatened, fat burning is the last thing it wants to do. This is why you can be on a diet and still not lose fat. Most people think fat loss stops because they're doing something wrong today. But fat loss usually stops because of what the body has learned from weeks, months, or even years of stress, restriction, and pressure. Your body remembers. Every time you diet aggressively, every time you cut calories too hard, every time you push through exhaustion, every time you ignore sleep and recovery. All of that sends signals. And when those signals say danger, the body responds by protecting fat. This is the first reason your body refuses to burn fat. It doesn't feel safe. When the body feels unsafe, it adapts. Metabolism slows. Hunger increases. Energy drops. And fat loss becomes harder, not easier. This is not a failure. This is a defense mechanism. Now here's where most people get trapped. When fat loss slows or stops, the instinct is to push harder. Eat less. Train more. Cut another food group. Skip another meal. Add more cardio. And for a short time, the scale might move, which convinces you that you're doing the right thing. But underneath, the body is adapting again. Every time you push harder, the body learns how to survive on less. And survival efficiency is the opposite of fat burning. This is why people say, I eat so little and I still don't lose weight. It's not because calories don't matter. It's because context matters more. Calories in a calm body behave differently than calories in a stressed body. Now let's talk about stress, because this is where things get serious. When you diet, especially aggressively, stress hormones rise. Cortisol increases. And cortisol has one main job: keep you alive during perceived danger. That means conserving energy and holding on to fat. So when cortisol stays elevated for too long, fat burning shuts down. Water retention increases. The scale becomes unpredictable. Belly fat becomes stubborn. And hunger feels out of control. This is why dieting often makes people feel worse over time, not better. And this is why eating less can actually make fat loss harder. Your body is not refusing to burn fat because it's broken. It's refusing because it's protecting you. Now let's add another layer that most people ignore: muscle loss. When calories are too low and protein is insufficient, the body doesn't just burn fat. It burns muscle. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. Losing it lowers your metabolism, reduces daily calorie burn, and makes future fat loss harder. So you end up in a worse position than before. Lower calories tolerance, lower metabolism, higher hunger, higher fat regain risk. This is why people feel like each diet makes things worse, because it often does. And then there's sleep. Poor sleep alone can reduce fat loss dramatically. It increases hunger hormones, worsens insulin sensitivity, raises cortisol, and reduces recovery. You can be doing everything right on paper and still fail because sleep is off. Your body doesn't burn fat when it's exhausted. It conserves. Now here's a critical point that almost nobody explains properly. Fat loss is not triggered by eating less. Fat loss is triggered by the body feeling safe enough to let fat go. That safety comes from signals: enough food, enough protein, enough sleep, enough recovery, enough stability. When those signals exist, fat loss becomes possible. When they don't, fat loss is resisted. This is why some people lose fat easily on higher calories while others can't lose fat on very low calories. It's not willpower. It's signaling. Now let's talk about the scale, because the scale lies more than people think. The scale measures total body weight. It does not measure fat loss. It does not measure water retention. It does not measure inflammation. It does not measure stress. So when stress is high, the scale can stay stuck even if fat loss is happening slowly. Or it can go up due to water while fat is being lost. And that confuses people, which leads to panic decisions. Panic decisions destroy progress. People see the scale stuck and assume failure. Then they cut more food. Then the body resists more. Then fat loss shuts down completely. This is the vicious cycle. Another reason your body refuses to burn fat is constant dieting without breaks. Many people never allow maintenance. They live in a constant low-grade deficit. Not extreme, but never enough to recover. The body never gets a signal that the stress is over. So adaptation becomes permanent. Maintenance is not quitting. Maintenance is a strategic reset. It allows hormones to normalize, stress to drop, metabolism to recover, and hunger to stabilize. This is why people who take smart breaks often restart fat loss more easily than people who never stop dieting. Now let's talk about movement. Excessive cardio combined with low calories increases stress. It teaches the body to conserve energy. Strength training, on the other hand, sends a different signal. It tells the body muscle is needed. It supports metabolism and improves insulin sensitivity. If all you do is cardio while eating very little, you're training your body to survive, not to burn fat. Now we're getting close to the most important part, so pay attention. Most people think fat loss is about effort. It's not. Fat loss is about cooperation. When you fight your body, it fights back harder. When you work with it, it lets go. And this brings us to the core reason your body refuses to burn fat. Your body is responding to the message you're sending. Right now, that message might be shortage, stress, danger, survival. And in survival mode, fat loss is not a priority. So the solution is not to eat less. The solution is to change the message. Enough food to recover. Enough protein to protect muscle. Enough sleep to reduce stress. Enough patience to let adaptation reverse. Once that happens, fat loss becomes possible again. Not because you pushed harder, but because you stopped triggering resistance. This is the part most people never hear. Your body refuses to burn fat when it feels threatened. It burns fat when it feels safe. That's the difference between people who stay stuck and people who finally break through. If this video helped you understand why fat loss has felt impossible even on a diet, like the video so more people can see it. Subscribe if you want real explanations instead of recycled advice. And comment below, what do you think is stressing your body the most right now?